Hello, and welcome back to BBTM, a podcast where we talk and spread life, advice, encouragement, and we talk about it in a real way. My name is Devon Edge. I'll be your host. Now, before I go right into talking about some real stuff, I gotta be honest first. Recently, I found that being vulnerable, opening up, and that kind of thing is hard, especially for me, so I'm going to do my best because I know it's the best way to start the relationship off with all of you. So here we go. So let's start off with the name of the podcast. Why BBTM? So let's backtrack a little bit more. So for those of you that don't know me personally, I lost my father a little over a year ago. It's always been a hard thing for me to talk about, especially being there when it all happened and panned out. But I know it's the only way to make it not such a touchy subject that gets me into my feelings. But anyway, my dad is the reason behind this entire podcast, and even literally the name of it. He had a huge impact on me in my life. I always wanted to be just like him growing up as a kid, just like most kids are. They usually want to be like their mom or their dad. They want to model that behavior as best as they can. My dad was one of my best friends, and growing up for me, it was like being best friends with your superhero. It was awesome. One day when I was a kid though, I was at my grandparents' house spending summer break with them, and he called the house and he asked to speak to me. So of course I got on the phone, and he asked me if I wanted to start playing football this upcoming fall, and I said, yeah, of course, I'd love to. I've been talking about it. I know we said we were going to, so let's do it. Next question he asked me was, what jersey number did I want to wear? And I told him, of course, I want to wear number 4. He goes, why do you want to wear number 4? I said, well, just because that was the number that you were growing up, and I want to be just like you. His immediate response to me from that point on was, no, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. And that's always been the message that he's told my 2 brothers and I. I wore that number 4 every season that I could, in every sport that I could. So he did allow me to do that, but if you were lucky enough to know my dad, and then you know that he set the bar really, really high on how to be a good friend, a good husband, a good son, a good brother, a good father, that, I told my mom it might be impossible for me to be better than him in certain things. That was just the way he maneuvered in life. He always tried to leave things better than they were when he was there. That's just the way that he was raised. He stood up for what was right. He did everything he could for the people around him, no matter how well he knew you. And he always took the extra step to make everyone feel seen and heard. That's just the way he was wired. People love that about him. He's the reason behind my inspiration of wanting to start doing a podcast like this in the first place. He's just given me way too many life lessons and too much advice to just hold on to it and not try and share it with some of the people in my world and in the world. I'd be selfish to do something like that to the people around me. So hopefully when you hear this, you can have a little bit better understanding of where I'm coming from when I speak and why I do what I do. Strive to be a blessing to the people around you, and watch how fast the blessings start coming to you. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, do not repay evil with evil or insult. Instead, repay them with a blessing. That is what He called you to do. He will grant you His blessing. Now, whether you believe in a higher power or not, or what higher power, or no higher power, or whatever, how much better would you be off in this world if you decided to not take such a victim mentality, or such a glass half full, or such a negative first mentality? At the end of the day, it's not about you. Just be a blessing and watch the blessings come. Be better than me. If you like what you heard, you got something out of it, or you just like the sound of my voice, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on all my pages on Insta and Spotify to stay up to date on all the content that I'll be putting out. I promise I will be putting out as many gems as quickly as I can. You won't want to miss it.